Right now at noon, an investigation is underway after a house catches fire in South Missouri, what authorities believe to be the cause of intent.
And we have a pretty mild week this week, but I'll have those details coming up.
Plus, tariff turmoil continues with new confusion over exemptions for a specific consumer good.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, this is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. New at noon today, 2 Jasper County deputies are placed on administrative leave after an encounter with an armed individual. The incident happened early yesterday morning in Jasper County as deputies responded to a domestic dispute. They made contact with this man, Gavin Newton of Joplin, inside the home. Newton was armed with a knife, and after receiving commands to get to the ground, Newton allegedly charged at the deputies. He was tased twice but continued advancing. One deputy then fired his weapon, hitting Newton. Both the deputies then began rendering medical aid until EMS arrived to take him to a local hospital. Newton has been charged with 4th-degree domestic assault, assaulting a law enforcement officer, and armed criminal action. He's being held without bond. The deputies will remain on leave as the investigation continues. An SUV crash sends a Kansas woman to the hospital with life-threatening injuries and family members searching for her pet. Now, it happened yesterday morning just outside the Joplin city limits on West 7th. A westbound Dodge Durango left the roadway near Black Cat Road and overturned onto the fencing at John Meyer's Truck and Ford Salvage, barely missing the building. Now, the 60-year-old driver from Galena, Kansas, was trapped inside the wreckage, and it took about 20 minutes for first responders to cut the top off the SUV using the jaws of life to free the woman. Now, she was rushed to a Joplin hospital suffering serious injuries. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says the driver was not wearing a seatbelt, and family members of the driver say the driver's dog was in the crash and they cannot find the dog called Boomer. Witnesses spotted him shortly after the crash. For more information, visit KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, an Independence, Kansas man has been charged with 8 counts of aggravated assault following his involvement in an incident last February. David Earl Hutchinson Jr. was arrested on April 7th. Now, on February 25th of last year, Hutchinson drove his blue Chevrolet Silverado into the west parking lot of the former Mercy Hospital in Independence. Now, witnesses say he was traveling at a high rate of speed before slamming his vehicle into concrete bollards as well as a dumpster. Now, the impact with the dumpster caused the dumpster to fly onto the roof of the northern porch of the fire station nearby. Hutchinson faces up to 34 months in jail. His first court appearance is set for April 22nd. And the City of Independence Police Department in Kansas is seeking public assistance in the ongoing investigation of a man who has been missing for 5 years. Dietrich Julian Foster has been missing since April 12, 2020. Now, despite extensive efforts by the police and the Kansas Bureau of Investigation, Mr. Foster's whereabouts remains unknown. The police are urging anyone with information, no matter how small, to come forward to help solve the case. And a structure fire including those from Pierce City, Freistadt, Jasper County, Monette Rural, and Monette City responded to the scene. The Newton County Sheriff's Office, alongside the Missouri State Fire Marshal's Office, is investigating the fire as suspicious. The Sheriff's Office is seeking information from the public and encourages anyone with details to contact them. Daphne, for a look at the forecast.
Mild today. Temperatures right now getting into the upper 60s. Going to warm up another degree or two, but you can see we've got pretty cloudy skies out there in the background and a northerly wind about 10-15 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 20, even up to 23 miles per hour. Now, these winds are going to slowly die down as we head through the rest of the day. We're going to have calm winds by this evening, but clouds are still sticking around. We're going to see some heavier clouds moving in, but later on this evening and into overnight, all of these clouds will push off to the southeast, and we've got clear skies as we head into Tuesday. But like I said, today we'll warm up another couple of degrees, getting into the upper 60s, even briefly hitting about 70 degrees. Mostly cloudy, and we do have an elevated fire risk today, tomorrow, and even into Wednesday. But our next chance of rain isn't coming in until Wednesday. You can see isolated showers throughout the area, and then even possibly an isolated thunderstorm or two. Not a severe threat, but that's going to be Wednesday with more rain chances coming up this weekend, even thunderstorm chances, but I'll have those details coming up.
All right, Lindsay, thanks. We'll see you soon. Well, the University of Missouri is among the colleges that have international students whose visas have been revoked. Now, in many cases, students have been targeted due to political activism, such as supporting Palestinians. But one Mizzou professor says others have seen their visas revoked for infractions as minor as speeding tickets. Now, she's calling on her school to do more to help them. President Trump is welcoming El Salvador's president to the White House this morning as the administration continues to send migrants to a notorious prison in the country. Now, the Trump administration is also facing confusion over tariffs on high-tech electronics such as iPhones and tablets. CBS's Natalie Brand has more.
President Trump is meeting with El Salvador's president at the White House to discuss immigration.
I think he's doing a fantastic job and he's taking care of a lot of problems that we have.
It comes as the president's trade policy continues to unfold, with new questions about the tariff on some popular electronics from China, like iPhones. Administration officials say those goods are excluded from the 125% import tariff, but still subject to an earlier 20% tariff related to fentanyl. U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer says those tech items will also be considered for separate national security related tariffs, with the goal of boosting manufacturing of semiconductors in the U.S.
It's shifting from one bucket of tariffs to a different bucket of potential tariffs.
You have to have a certain flexibility.
Small businesses in the U.S. are pleading for flexibility as they face the full 145% tariff on imports from China.
Small businesses like mine are marginalized and left to bear the burden of this and to see our families suffer.
Ralph Bradley is the owner of a Texas-based company that imports lighting equipment for items including trailers, RVs, and farm equipment. His father started a joint venture in the early 90s with a family-owned company in China that makes the products.
We have a great relationship with them and are scared about not just our business being in detriment, but what happens to their business and their families.
Trump administration officials say negotiations with China will happen between Presidents Trump and Xi, but so far talks have not been scheduled. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now, NVIDIA, manufacturers of the world's leading chips used in supercomputers and AI, announced it will begin building a facility in Arizona to make the chips and one in Texas to make AI supercomputers. Well, coming up, how four-staters are celebrating the Easter holiday with family fun. And later, we're making ham and scalloped potato casserole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The Forest Park Church in Joplin hosted a unique Easter egg hunt Saturday at Missouri Southern State University. KOAM's Mitch Adams has more.
Easter is right around the corner, which means Easter egg hunts will be a must for many families in the 4 states. One egg hunt, hosted by Forest Park Church, made their hunt a bit different than others.
If you haven't been this close to a helicopter before, the wind, I mean, it's exhilarating to see. It's quite an experience to see them drop all those eggs. So the looks on the faces, it's excitement, it's a little bit nervous, but it's a good time.
People came by the thousands to hunt for eggs, but it was also a time for the church to help kids understand the true meaning of Easter.
We wanted to have an environment where people could come, have safe, family-friendly fun, hear the great message of the gospel and Jesus' love. So yeah, overwhelmed, overjoyed.
With it being the church's first year doing something like this, they already have their sights set on next year.
This is something we want to do annually, and the one takeaway I have is more and more and more. We probably need more inflatables, more food, all of that, which is a great problem to have. So we're excited.
The helicopter flew above, dropping thousands of eggs in a designated field. Organizers gave a countdown. 1! And the hunt was on. In Joplin, Missouri, Mitch Adams, KOAM News.
The Joplin Police Department was on site with officers to ensure public safety at Saturday's event. Now 7,550 people attended the event. And residents at Ascension Living Village also got an opportunity Sunday to have an Easter egg hunt of their own. Family members of the residents participated in the third annual Easter egg hunt at 3 different courtyards throughout the facility, separated by age. Now, with some residents unable to leave the facility, officials say this provides them an opportunity to get in on the holiday fun.
I think that it was a really good thing for everyone to be able to come see everyone. I think that it made a lot of people's day to be able to see all of these kids having a good time and seeing them be able to come together and have fun with their friends and family.
Over 60 kids participated in the Easter egg hunt. And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you haven't decided on your Easter side dishes yet, you're in luck, because we've got one that is stupendous.
We have a mild week, but rain chances are upcoming. I'll have those details right after this. Well, overall, today's going to be a pretty nice day. We've got clouds, a little windy. Let's go ahead and take a look outside downtown Pittsburgh. You can see pretty cloudy skies out there, but we'll see some sunshine throughout the day. Now, winds are still gusting pretty strong, up to 15-20 miles per hour through the next couple of hours. Now, our temperature trend has dropped. We had low 80s yesterday, but a front came through last night, dry front, that did drop our temperatures down to upper 60s today. So it's not too cold, pretty mild, about average. Now we've got mostly cloudy skies. You can see more clouds moving in, but later on this evening, we are going to see clouds moving back out. We've got a dry air mass settling in overnight tonight that is going to cause some fire weather concerns over the next couple of days. Today, out in Kansas, Oklahoma, we've got relatively low humidity, less than 30% across the area, but as we head into Tuesday with that drier air mass settling over our area, we are going to see humidity values dropping below 20%. Now, with areas that haven't quite greened out yet, we are going to see some fire weather concerns for those areas, but we have seen a lot of rain the last week now, so south of I-44 may still be okay, but you can see out in the Kansas area we are seeing those lower humidity values. And it's going to be pretty sunny and dry air tomorrow with temperatures again reaching mid-60s. Now our next chance of rain isn't going to be until Wednesday. You can see very isolated showers across the area. This is going to be throughout most of the day on Wednesday. May see some isolated thunderstorms popping up, but these are not going to be strong at all, just your regular spring thunderstorms, but they're very isolated, so we may not see, most of us may not see a lot of the rain. Now temperatures are getting back up into the 70s on Wednesday, mid to upper 70s, and then as those storms pass, we're back to nicer, warmer weather on Thursday. You can see we're back into the 80s Thursday, low 80s for the most part. We do have a front that's going to be moving in on Friday. Now, this front starts to push into the area. You can see where that wind shift line is straight through the area, but it does kind of move back up to the north, lifts back up north. So we're back into the 80s, possibly only getting into the 70s for the areas that have seen that front already push through. But like I said, it does retreat back a little bit, and then we have thunderstorm chances Friday night. As it retreats, moves back in Saturday, so we'll have another round of thunderstorms on Saturday and even into Sunday. So we could see through the weekend, starting Friday night and into Sunday, could see some strong to low end severe thunderstorms. Now we get a little bit closer, we may see the severity increase there. Definitely Friday night and Saturday night. Now we've got those isolated showers on Thursday, so we've got quite a few chances of rain throughout the week. And then after this weekend, we'll be back to rain chances midweek next week, Tuesday night and into Wednesday. But you can see temperatures across the board are relatively mild, even close to average. Upper 60s, low 70s. We'll have some warmer days kind of sprinkled in there. Now Friday could be a little bit warmer depending on how quick that front wants to move through or if it holds back a little bit longer. But overall this weekend, back into the low 70s, which is right on par for where we should be this time of year, and then a little bit warmer next week.
All right, lots of good chances for rain and a few things to keep an eye on as well.
Yes, definitely this weekend. We could see some strong severe thunderstorms, excuse me.
All righty. Well, the temperatures look great, though. Thanks, Lindsay. And stick around. We're making ham and scalloped potato casserole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Stick around. We'll be right back. Well, it's time for a comfort food classic that your family will be begging you to make for years to come. And what better way to try it out than this weekend on Easter Sunday? Well, Howard's making ham and scalloped potato casserole in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Our goal here in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen this week is to make sure that you have lots of quick and easy recipes that'll make your Easter dinner the talk of the town. And since no holiday menu would be complete without a really good creamy potato side dish, we figured we'd share one that always gets rave reviews. When making this in the past, I used to start off by peeling and shredding the potatoes, but rather than doing that, today we're using a bag of frozen hash brown potatoes that we've thawed. To that, we add a package of peas, some ham that we've chunked up, cream of celery soup, a good amount of milk, a bit of onion powder, and some ground black pepper. After this is mixed really well, we pour it into a casserole dish and generously top it with crushed butter crackers. You could bake this right away or assemble it ahead of time and bake it off right before dinner or brunch. Either way, you're going to love how creamy and satisfying it is. To get the recipe for our ham and scallop potato casserole, simply visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found an easy Easter way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
So simple and so delicious. Now you can of course find this recipe for this casserole along with a lot more good food and even some more Easter recipes from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Now all you have to do is head on over to our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
Well, we have pretty mild temperatures today and tomorrow in the mid to upper 60s. Now, we do have fire weather concerns as we head into Tuesday, but isolated shower chances return on Wednesday. Warm and windy Thursday, but thunderstorm chances that could be low and severe or just strong thunderstorms Friday night, Saturday night, and into Sunday as well.
All right, certainly lots to keep an eye on. Lindsay, thanks. Dowdy for us later on.
A lot coming up at 5. For starters, anxiety over air travel is elevated for many people following several recent high-profile incidents. We're going to take a look at some data that might put some future flyers at ease. Plus, a deadline for Liberty Utility customers is approaching. What to know about Missouri's public comment and intervention deadline, and how scammers could be taking advantage of consumers concerned about tariffs. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
All right, Del, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.